Someone with real influence is preparing to place an offer before you. This offer could change how you work, create, live, or provide for those you love. And you must hear this first. They are not choosing you from pity. They are choosing you because they have recognized value that your present environment failed to reward. Chosen one, this may feel sudden from your side. It is not sudden from theirs. Your name has been observed. Your work has been remembered. Your response under pressure has been quietly measured, while you believed nobody important was paying attention. Beyond your sight, a conversation may already be forming around what you can do. Someone has noticed how you solve problems without needing applause. They have seen how you stay calm when others become confused. They notice details, patterns, and options others miss. What feels ordinary to you may look rare to them, but there is a warning inside this blessing. The greatest danger is not that the offer will vanish. The danger is that the version of you, shaped by rejection, may misunderstand it when it arrives. You may question why they chose you. You may answer too quickly. You may reduce your value before they even name theirs. You may also dismiss the first contact because it looks too small. Powerful people rarely reveal everything in their opening sentence. They may begin with a question. They may request your opinion. They may ask for a short conversation, while quietly deciding whether you can carry something far larger than the first invitation suggests. So stay present. You need to understand 3 things before this opportunity takes shape. You need to know why this person sees more in you. You need to recognize the old pattern that could make you pull away. And you need a clear receiver when the moment arrives. Notice what happens inside you when good news appears. Does your mind immediately search for the hidden problem? Do you assume there must be a mistake? Do you prepare for disappointment before anything has even gone wrong? That reaction is not always intuition. Sometimes it is an old protection pattern wearing the voice of wisdom. Disappointment taught you to inspect every blessing for danger, because expecting less felt safer than hoping again. But what protected you in one season can sabotage you in the next. This is the first key. The offer will reveal what this person believes about you. It will also reveal what you are finally willing to believe about yourself. You cannot enter a larger room while repeating every judgment spoken in the smaller one. You do not need blind faith. You need enough calm to examine what is real. You do not need to chase anyone. You need enough clarity to recognize serious interest when it appears. And you do not need to become another person, because the person they noticed was already you. If you are ready to meet new opportunities without letting old rejection speak for you, write, "I receive with clarity." Let those words become a decision. When the moment comes, your past will not answer in your place. Now, hold one question as we move deeper. What has this powerful person seen in you that you stopped seeing in yourself? The answer begins with the very season you thought had made you invisible. For a long time, you have been the person people call after the obvious solution fails. They come when the room is tense. They come when the plan breaks. They come because you find movement where others see limits. Yet when the crisis ends, your name often disappears. You solve the problem, but someone else receives the title. You steady the team, but someone else receives the praise. You carry the weight, while people act as if your contribution was simple. That pattern taught you a painful lie. It taught you that being unseen meant being unimportant. It did not. Your old environment never fully measured your capacity, because a room can benefit from your gift while lacking the vision to reward it. The powerful person moving toward you is using a different measure. They are not looking only at your current position. They are looking at what happens when your ability receives access, support, and the right level of responsibility. This is the authority mirror. A serious person does not only see who you have been, they see what your instincts could produce inside a larger structure. They see what your calm could protect and what your ideas could build when survival is no longer consuming your attention. Three qualities may have placed you on their radar. First, you notice what other people miss. You catch weak points early. You hear what is not being said. You often understand the real issue before everyone finishes debating the surface. Second, you remain useful under pressure. Fear may touch you, but it does not fully control your hands. You can think while others react, and that steadiness becomes valuable when money, trust, or reputation is at stake. Third, you create results without constant instruction. You have learned through observation. You have built solutions from incomplete information. Even when resources were limited, you found another path. And people with influence recognize how rare that independence is. But understand the difference. Some people choose others because they are easy to control. A real opportunity chooses you because your capacity creates value. Control asks you to become smaller. Recognition gives your ability a larger field to operate. That is why the coming offer may feel unusually large. It may not match the way your current surroundings have priced you. It may reflect years of invisible preparation, compressed into one invitation, one contract, or one chance to carry something that matches your actual range. Imagine hearing someone describe your value with frightening accuracy. They mention the way you think. They mention the moment you assumed nobody noticed. They explain why your name remained in their mind, and suddenly you realize your quiet season was producing evidence. This does not mean every stranger is watching you. It does not mean every message is a sign. It means your choices leave impressions, and some impressions travel farther than you know through memory, recommendation, and trust. If you recognize that your value has outgrown your present environment, write, "I was not overlooked." Do not write it as revenge. Write it as freedom from needing another person's blindness to define what you can become. Now, another question opens. What behavior convinced this person that you could be trusted with more? The answer may be hidden in what you did when there was no applause, no reward, and no guarantee that anyone would remember. The behavior they noticed was simple. You remained dependable when nobody celebrated you. You did not need a spotlight to become responsible. You handled what was placed in your hands with care, and that private consistency may have revealed more than any polished performance. Powerful people often watch before they reveal their intention. They notice whether you become desperate around access. They notice whether you can protect sensitive information. The first sign is a change in the quality of questions. Someone may ask about your work, your availability, or how you would handle a specific problem. The questions feel casual, but they are precise. The second sign is repeated contact. A message returns. A name appears through another person. A conversation that seemed finished opens again, because serious interest often moves through quiet checks before it becomes a formal invitation. The third sign is a small assignment with unusual trust attached. It may not look impressive, yet it carries responsibility, information, or access that is not given to everyone. Do not underestimate the small door. The first offer may not be the real offer. It may be the entrance that allows someone to see how much responsibility you can hold. One useful answer can place your name inside a different network. But do not turn every interaction into prophecy. Not every question is a test. Not every invitation carries destiny. Look for action, consistency, and structure. Real interest becomes clearer over time. This distinction protects you from two mistakes. The first is chasing attention without substance. Desperation chases every signal. Readiness observes what repeats, develops, and begins placing real responsibility in your hands. Take one slow breath now. Let your shoulders fall. You do not need to hunt for the person. You do not need to force a door. There is also an offer behind the offer. A position may carry access. A project may create visibility. A single introduction may change the quality of every room you enter afterward, while the trust and future range become more valuable than the first reward. This is why your response to small opportunities matters. A powerful person may be asking whether you can stay calm before certainty arrives. Still, ability alone is not enough. Many capable people stand beside life-changing opportunities and fail to recognize what is happening. They read a serious message through old rejection. They delay until the opening cools, or they reduce themselves before the other person names their value. That is where the next truth begins. Some chosen ones miss an opening because of the condition of the receiver. A tired and divided mind can stand beside provision and call it ordinary, while a frightened identity can mistake honest recognition for danger. Soon, we will examine why the receiver becomes clouded, why the clarity you carried as a child may feel distant, and what must change before a large offer can be evaluated with wisdom. For now, remember this. A real opportunity can begin quietly, but it will leave a pattern of evidence. There is another reason some people stand beside a life-changing opportunity and fail to recognize what is happening. It is not always weak faith. It is not always poor judgment. Part of the problem may begin inside the way the mind receives and organizes information. A small group of researchers, led by a doctor in New York, spent years examining why the mind can lose a kind of connection that once felt natural in childhood. Their work points toward a specific process that may support clearer thinking in only 8 minutes a day. I will explain that discovery later. For now, hold one question. What if the opportunity is already near, but the receiver has been operating through fog? This is the recognition gap. An offer appears, but the mind does not fully register its meaning. A serious message arrives, but you treat it like ordinary noise. A person shows respect, but you assume they are only being polite. Sometimes you read the same message again and again. You cannot decide how to answer. You begin lowering your value before the other person mentions terms, because your nervous system wants to escape the risk of being rejected. Sometimes you delay because you want the perfect response. You tell yourself you need more time, more proof, or more preparation. But beneath that delay is a quieter fear. What if the offer is real, and you must finally become visible? This does not mean every hesitation is wrong. Careful thinking protects you. Discernment matters. Yet, exhaustion can imitate caution, while old disappointment can make a healthy opportunity feel suspicious before any evidence appears. The recognition gap grows when analysis and intuition stop working together. One part of you sees possibility. Another part searches for danger. Instead of helping each other, they compete, and the result feels like confusion. Use a simple rule when a large offer arrives. Do not accept immediately. Do not reject immediately. Give yourself enough space to return to clarity before emotion makes the decision. Ask for the important details in writing. Review the value being exchanged. Write down 3 questions that must be answered before you move forward, because real opportunities can withstand calm examination. The first question is simple. What exactly is being offered? The second is practical. What will be expected from you? The third protects your future. Does this opportunity expand your life without requiring you to abandon your values? These questions close the distance between excitement and wisdom. They help you see the offer as it is, rather than through the fear of what happened before. If you are willing to pause before fear makes the decision, write clarity before answer. Let that statement become your new threshold. You will not rush from desperation, and you will not retreat from an old wound. The greatest threat is not always a dishonest person. Sometimes it is an honest opportunity meeting an exhausted identity. And the next part will show you how that identity learned to resist the very recognition it once prayed to receive. Your old identity may resist the offer before your conscious mind understands why. It may happen inside your chest. Your breathing changes. Your thoughts accelerate. A moment that should feel exciting begins to feel unsafe. The first pattern is the suspicion reflex. Good news appears, and your mind searches for the trap. You assume there must be a hidden cost, because disappointment trained you to expect pain behind every promise. The second pattern is the underpricing reflex. You reduce your request before anyone challenges it. You ask for less money, less authority, or less time, because losing part of the opportunity seems safer than risking all of it. The third pattern is over-explaining. You keep proving why you deserve the room. You share too much, speak too quickly, and fill every silence, while the other person may already understand your value. The fourth pattern is delay. You avoid replying because visibility feels dangerous. You call it preparation, but the deeper fear is that a real yes will require you to step beyond the identity that kept you emotionally protected. Notice the cycle. Your body becomes tense. You conclude that you are not ready, yet the hidden mechanism may be an identity built around survival, and survival is often suspicious of support. Here is the new truth. A feeling can be unfamiliar without being dangerous. An opportunity can stretch you without being wrong. Your first physical reaction is information, but it is not always the final verdict. This is the 8-second threshold. It is the brief space between receiving unexpected news and allowing fear to answer. In that space, do nothing dramatic. Put both feet on the ground, take one slow breath, read the message again, notice what your body is doing, and separate the facts in front of you from the memories speaking behind you. You do not need to trust every person. You do not need to call every invitation destiny. Being careful is not negativity, and believing in yourself does not require blind belief in someone else. A genuine offer usually carries 3 forms of structure. The terms become clear. The exchange creates value for both sides, and the opportunity does not require you to violate your deepest boundaries to keep it alive. If someone pressures you to surrender your judgment, step back. If they demand secrecy that isolates you from every trusted advisor, step back. If they use praise to make you ignore missing details, step back. But do not use discernment as a hiding place. Some people keep asking for more proof because no amount of proof feels safer than remaining unseen. At some point, wisdom must become action. Picture yourself sitting before the offer. Your hands are steady. You ask what the role requires. You ask what success will look like. You listen without apologizing for the value you bring. You do not make yourself smaller to appear grateful. You do not turn confidence into arrogance. You simply remain present enough to let the conversation reflect your real capacity. This is the deeper release. You do not have to become smaller to remain safe. The environment that taught you to shrink does not control the size of the next room. If you are releasing the identity that expects every door to close, write, "I do not shrink." Say it without anger. Say it as permission to stand at your full height when recognition arrives. The receiver is not only shaped by belief, it is also shaped by the way your mind has learned to process pressure, repetition, and constant information. To understand what must be restored, we must return to a capacity that once came naturally to you. The receiver condition explains why a capable person can miss what is directly before them. It is not proof that they lack intelligence. It may mean the systems used for analysis, intuition, creativity, and pattern recognition are no longer cooperating as smoothly as they once did. Pressure changes how attention moves. Repetition narrows what the mind expects to see. Constant information creates overload, and the brain begins depending on familiar pathways because familiar pathways require less effort. This is the why. The modern mind is asked to react all day. Messages arrive, problems stack up, responsibilities compete for attention. Over time, survival can become the default setting, while deeper clarity becomes harder to access. This is the what. The analytical part of the mind keeps calculating. The intuitive part still senses patterns, But when those abilities stop communicating well, you may feel divided between what seems logical and what quietly feels important. This is the who. It often affects people carrying heavy responsibility. It touches those who think constantly, solve problems for others, and remain alert even when the day is over. Yet there was a time when connection felt more natural. As a child, imagination and learning often moved together. You could notice patterns, create possibilities, and absorb information without separating every experience into rigid categories. That capacity may not be gone. It may be covered by stress, habit, and years of operating through fragments. This is the child genius return. The process of reconnecting abilities that were present before survival became your dominant teacher. Spiritual direction can help you understand meaning. A clear mind can help you recognize what that direction requires in practice. These functions do not need to compete, because insight becomes useful when it can be examined and translated into wise action. Think again about the coming offer. You may need analysis to review its terms. You may need intuition to notice what is missing. You may need creativity to see what the opportunity could become, while discernment decides whether it belongs in your life. A divided receiver struggles to combine those signals. A connected receiver can listen, compare, question, and respond without allowing one frightened thought to control the entire decision. In a moment, I will show you the Nobel Prize-winning discovery behind this connection. You will learn why ordinary audio tracks may not reproduce the same process, and how a New York neurological team created an 8-minute method designed to support it. This is not about forcing yourself to become someone new. It is about becoming more available to abilities that pressure may have pushed into the background. If you are ready to meet the next season with your whole mind present, write, "My receiver is open." Let those words mark a willingness to receive information clearly, test it wisely, and act without abandoning yourself. The next discovery will connect the mystery to a practical mechanism. It will also explain why the solution is not simply another meditation track, another motivational promise, or another demand that you try harder. Do you remember the question you were asked to hold? Here is the answer. It begins with research that received the Nobel Prize in 1981. Dr. Roger Sperry studied what happens when communication between the two sides of the brain is disrupted. His work showed that the two hemispheres process experience in different ways. One supports language, sequence, and analysis. The other supports pattern, imagination, context, and intuitive recognition. Your strongest state appears when these abilities work together. This coordinated state is called whole brain activation. It does not turn you into another person. It allows more of your existing capacity to become available, so you can analyze facts while still seeing patterns and possibilities. Research cited in the product presentation says 98% of children test at a creative genius level, yet fewer than 1 in 1,000 adults maintain that level. Modern pressure may gradually weaken the natural cooperation they once used. A woman from California described living with constant mental fog. She had tried prayer, journaling, meditation, and many practices, but nothing seemed to connect. After about 10 days, she felt a blocked channel had opened. Her stress eased, and she became more present in her marriage. A man from Texas owned a business, raised 2 children, and carried responsibility every day. Prayer had begun to feel like speaking into a wall. After about 2 weeks, he said the fog he had stopped noticing was gone, and his mind felt fully engaged again. These are personal experiences, not guaranteed outcomes, but they point toward what the team led by Dr. Daniel Barone spent years developing. Dr. Barone is a neurologist in New York City, and his team created an 8-minute auditory sequence called the Genius Switch. The core process is called neural sync technology. It is designed to support synchronization between the left and right hemispheres, which the product describes as whole brain activation. You use headphones, close your eyes, relax, and listen for 8 minutes each day. You do not need to repeat a mantra. You do not need to force meditation. You do not need to write affirmations or perform a complicated ritual. The sequence is designed to work beneath conscious effort while you simply listen. This is not presented as an ordinary meditation application. It is not a random track carrying an impressive label. It is built around a specific neural synchronization process rather than a common relaxation recording. This is not about installing genius into you. It is about reconnecting what may already have been present before survival trained your mind to operate in fragments. The goal is not becoming someone false. The goal is becoming more available to yourself. A clearer receiver cannot create an honest offer from nothing. It cannot force another person to choose you, but it may support the attention and discernment needed to recognize an opportunity, examine its terms, and respond without confusion. Perhaps your concern is time. 8 minutes is shorter than many morning routines. You can listen before work, during a quiet break, or before sleep. Missing one day does not erase the process. You simply return the next day. Perhaps the idea still feels difficult to trust. That is reasonable. The guarantee lets you evaluate the experience directly. Comparable neurofeedback equipment can cost thousands of dollars. In-person sessions may cost hundreds for 1 hour. The product presentation says colleagues valued this protocol near $500, while the listed price was $49. On the official page, the current offer is $39. It includes lifetime access, so there is no monthly membership. The page says the price may increase, so the current amount is not promised beyond this offer. 4 bonuses are included. The first is a guided visualization focused on money, love, health, and happiness. The second is a smart grocery shopping guide with common foods linked to mental fog and shopping shortcuts that may save money. The third is a classic manifestation book that influenced many modern teachings. The fourth is a printable infographic covering 5 habits designed to support an ideal future. The purchase carries a full money-back guarantee. According to the product file, you may request a refund even after listening several times. This gives you room to examine the material without feeling trapped. One warning deserves attention. Similar tracks may appear on Amazon or Spotify under familiar names. The official product file says those versions are not verified to contain neural sync technology. The direct page from the Dr. Barone team is the verified source. The official page is linked in the description and pinned comment. Read the details yourself. Examine the guarantee. Decide from clarity rather than pressure. The tool is not the source of your calling. It cannot manufacture an opportunity that does not exist. Its role is simpler. It may support the clarity with which you recognize, evaluate, and respond to what life places before you. For the chosen one who felt something stir when the receiving condition was described, the official path remains in the description and pinned comment. The rest of this message is about how you carry yourself when the door opens. The first step is pause. Do not answer from adrenaline. Excitement can make a weak offer look stronger, while fear can make a strong offer look dangerous. Give your body enough time to settle before you decide. The second step is clarify. Ask what is being offered, what responsibilities come with it, and what success will require. A serious person will not be threatened by clear questions. The third step is verify. Confirm the identity of the person, the organization involved, and every important term. Do not send money or private information because someone uses a powerful title. The fourth step is value. Do not lower your worth before the conversation begins. Understand the exchange, then discuss compensation, authority, time, and support with calm precision. The fifth step is align. Ask whether the opportunity serves your long-term direction. A large offer can still be wrong if it demands that you betray your values, neglect your health, or abandon the people you are responsible for. You can respond with simple language. Thank them for the invitation. Say that you are interested in learning more. Ask for the main details in writing and request reasonable time to review them. Real structure creates room for thought. Pressure tries to remove that room. Be careful when someone demands immediate payment, refuses written terms, or uses their reputation to prevent you from seeking advice. Be careful when secrecy becomes isolation. Honest privacy still allows advice from a lawyer or trusted person. Manipulation wants you alone because questions weaken its control. Look for green signs as well. Genuine opportunities respect your need to think. They explain the exchange. They define responsibilities. They allow both sides to ask questions without turning caution into an insult. A real offer can survive a clear question. The offer may still stretch you. It may ask you to learn quickly or enter a room that feels larger than your past. Stretch is not the same as misalignment. Growth can feel unfamiliar while remaining honest and safe. You were not prepared through struggle so you could accept every door. You were prepared so you could recognize the right one. Wisdom includes the courage to say yes, the patience to say not yet, and the strength to say no. If you will no longer confuse urgency with alignment, write, "I choose," with wisdom. Let that declaration remind you that desperation does not lead this decision. Your clarity does. This is where the outer offer meets the inner preparation. Someone may recognize your value, but you must still remain present enough to recognize the quality of what they place before you. You do not need to chase every door. You do not need to prove your value by accepting every invitation. Readiness includes the ability to say yes with courage, not yet with patience, and no with peace. The right opportunity will not require you to disappear inside it. Recognition that costs your identity is not the recognition you were prepared to receive. Close your eyes if it is safe. Imagine a message appearing on your screen. Your chest tightens for 1 second because the words carry more weight than you expected. But this time, you do not rush. You place both feet on the ground. You breathe slowly. You read every line again, and you allow the truth of the moment to arrive without letting old rejection interpret it for you. Something has changed. You are no longer begging to be seen or trying to convince everyone that your gift is real. You can recognize when another person sees it too. Imagine entering the conversation. Your voice is steady. Your questions are clear. You listen closely, and you do not apologize for needing time to understand what is being placed before you. You are not arrogant. You are present. You are discerning. Gratitude and self-respect can stand together. I do not chase what requires me to abandon myself. I do not shrink when recognition arrives. I do not allow old rejection to answer new opportunities. My mind is clear. My discernment is awake. My value does not disappear because someone failed to see it. I am prepared to receive what aligns with my calling. I am prepared to ask wise questions. I am prepared to walk through the right door with my whole self present. If this is the identity you are choosing now, write, "I receive with wisdom." Write it as a promise to remain awake when opportunity arrives, and as a reminder that receiving is not the same as surrendering your judgment. Let this message reach someone who has been overlooked for too long. Share it with the person who solves problems for everyone else, yet still doubts whether their own season can change. Subscribe and remain close to this community of chosen ones who are learning to live with clarity, courage, and discernment. The right offer will not require you to become less of who you are. When the door opens, may you recognize it clearly, examine it wisely, and enter only when your deepest knowing remains at peace. You are not late, you are becoming ready. And this time, when recognition arrives, you will be present enough to receive it.